Hudson Farm Supply at 336 Hall Street in Wiggins is your home for all things farm related. With feed, seed, fertilizer, farm clothing, horse tack, and pet supplies, including wormers and vaccinations, Hudson Farm Supply can meet your needs with a friendly, knowledgeable staff dedicated to the highest levels of customer service. If you have a farm supply related question and the staff at Hudson Farm Supply do not have the answer, they won't rest until they get it. Proud supporters of Tomcat Athletics, Matt Hudson and Joel Miles invite you to stop by Hudson Farm Supply, sit a spell, and rehash this week's game.
One lamb billet, one scratch, and 2 corn.
Thank you very much.
Come shop with us at Hudson Farm Supply.
Jody O'Hara, and we're back with the Tomcat Insider. We've gone over this season's team with the Tomcats. We're going to talk a little bit about tomorrow night. You take on the Long Beach Bearcats at their place, Lumpkin McGee Stadium. They came up here last year, and you guys handed it to them, 46-0. What are you expecting when you get out there tomorrow night?
I'm expecting Long Beach to be much better. We saw them in the spring game. They looked a little bit better, and got a couple of more guys out and that kind of thing. This will be Coach Broder's second year, so they're adjusted to his system and what he's trying to get, and the type program that he's trying to build there at Long Beach. Great quarterback in Joey D'Angelo. He'll be one of the big guys that keep them going offensively, or hopefully not. And he's got a few weapons there on the offensive side of the ball at receiver, and they got a running back. Their running back will be back again.
They got a couple. They got Milton Britton and Josh Rushing. And Rushing scored the touchdown the other night when they beat Biloxi 7-0 in the Jamboree. So Chad Cook and Patrick Devlin at receiver. They're kind of like you in the fact they're playing in a tough 5A division down there. They've got Gaucher and Moss Point to go up against, and those aren't. They're not getting any easy knocks this year either, are they?
No, Moss Point and Gaucher and D'Aguaville and those guys. We're this will be our second year, out of that district. But still, most of those guys down there, the Van Cleves and those guys have respectable programs.
Their defense comes on the field. Middle linebacker Richie Brown. Guy had more than 100 solo tackles last year from the middle linebacker position. That's a monster. Who's going to be keying on Mr. Brown?
Well, we just got to make sure we get a hat on him. That's the biggest thing. Kind of know where he is, and make sure we got somebody headed in his direction every play to give us a chance.
All right, the rest of your non-conference schedule, George County. You handed it to George County at their place last year. You're going to bring them here. After that, Harrison Central, your only non-conference loss last year. They got you, 27-3 or something like that. And then West Harrison, you really handed it to them too. What are you looking for over these next 4 weeks as you go through that non-conference, trying to tune up for what's got to be known as literally the toughest conference in high school football in the state of Mississippi?
Well, basically, we want to, hopefully we want to work the kinks out, the first few games and get yourself in shape and that kind of thing. But we also want to test ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to just go out there and play a bunch of smaller schools. Not that they wouldn't be competitive, but I mean, you want to play some stiff competition early, work out your kinks, kind of put yourself under a little bit of pressure and see how you guys are going to respond. And, we set that schedule up that way, and hopefully, you want to be undefeated in your non-conference schedule, going into your conference schedule as, on top with a positive.
You get through that non-conference, you take week 5 off, you get ready, and then you enter this Division 3 5A. Like I said, I think it's understood across the state. This is the toughest. What you've got 3 teams in that division in the top 5 in the state, in that region, out of 3 5A.
We just, you got to be ready to play every week. And like I said, I, tell the, kids, at the beginning of the season, treat the, your schedule like a staircase, and in order for us to get to the top, you got to, take one step at a time. And obviously, you know, we're going to do that against Long Beach. But, you know, you're asking down the road, and I mean, just, you know, from top to bottom, that conference, I mean, you better be ready to play every week. I'm calling it the SEC of, you know, 5A, or the SEC of high school football.
Yeah,
I mean, you better be ready to play.
Coach, Coach made a great point in the paper this past week about our kids got so close last year, had so many close ball games. And I know this is a kind of a loaded question, but how do you get those kids over the hump?
Well, I just hope that, you know, like I said, having some of the kids that we have on the team that experienced some of those close losses, and your Cade Amakers and Ramsey Sellers and D. Arrington, I mean, I hope they're tired of it as well. And I just hope that they take, you know, preparing for each opponent a little bit more seriously, you know, going into each week, and focus more on the little things, and remember how it felt to lose those close games to some of those, you know, premier programs in the state of Mississippi, and just, you know, keep working hard, and hope we're out working our opposition, and hopefully we'll come out on top.
You talked to me about that last week, Coach. You said you hoped that they were tired of that bitter taste. And let's go back and look at it, just to go over last season a little bit. Wayne County comes here. You lose 13-7. Coach Miller, that may have been the greatest high school football game I've ever been a part of. That was smash mouth from the start to the finish.
Well, I mean, you know, not to relive any bad memories, you know, but I mean, you know, we take the ball, we have the ball basically on our half of the field the last 2 or 3 minutes of the ball game, and the crowd was up. We could barely hear ourselves talk, me and Zip doing the radio, and it was just a great high school football atmosphere. And I know after the game, Coach Oakley and were upset, but I mean, it was a great game. We just fell out a little short end.
Yeah, you travel to West Jones a little later in the season, and your kids got a taste of what rabid high school football fans are like up there. And, I mean, they come out and they support that football club. You took a tough loss there. Also, Brookhaven comes in. You play 3 overtimes and lose 43-40. Those are the kind of things, though, aren't they, that get your kids ready? I mean, isn't that what should give them that knowledge to get over the hump Coach Miller's talking about? They've experienced it.
We're hoping so. You know, I mean, just, you know, experiencing that, being in that environment, you know, knowing what that feeling is. How did you feel after that ball game? You know, now we're starting fresh again in 2010. You know, I hope we're, like I said, outworking our opposition so we don't have to, you know, experience that feeling again, that bad feeling, that bad taste in your mouth. Hey, let's take care of our business so we don't have to, you know, feel that again.
Let's go to another commercial break. We'll hear from one of our sponsors, and we'll come back. We'll wrap up with what you're expecting for the whole season. Hudson Farm Supply at 336 Hall Street in Wiggins is your home for all things farm related. With feed, seed, fertilizer, farm clothing, horse tack, and pet supplies, including wormers and vaccinations, Hudson Farm Supply can meet your needs with a friendly, knowledgeable staff dedicated to the highest levels of customer service. If you have a farm supply related question and the staff at Hudson Farm Supply do not have the answer, they won't rest until they get it. Proud supporters of Tomcat Athletics, Matt Hudson and Joel Miles invite you to stop by Hudson Farm Supply, sit a spell, and rehash this week's game.
1 lamb billet, 1 scratch, and 2 corn.
Thank you very much.
Come shop with us at Hudson Farm Supply.